One, three, hey, we're tour by together!
One of the biggest K-pop acts on the planet.
K-pop 빅보이.
K-팝의 미래를 책임져가는 그룹이죠.
K-팝에서의 역사를 써내려가고 있습니다.
K-팝의 자부심.
Before we dive into this guide to TXT, here are a few things to keep in mind. This guide does contain spoilers, but timestamps are provided where possible if you want to skip the more spoiler-heavy sections. That said, we do highly encourage you to watch the members' skills segments when you get to those parts. These short clips of performances are essential for showcasing each member's unique strengths and are a big part of truly getting to know them. So, unless you're very spoiler-sensitive, we recommend giving those a watch. You'll also notice a few pop-ups with extra info throughout the guide. These are totally optional, but feel free to pause and check them out if you're curious or want more context. All right, with that out of the way, let's get you started on your TXT journey. Hope you enjoy. TXT are a 5-member boy group from South Korea who debuted March 4th, 2019 under Big Hit Entertainment. The group's full name, Tomorrow by Together, refers to the dream of these 5 boys, Subin, Yeonjun, Bomgyu, Taehyun, and Hyunin Kai, who have come together under one dream in hopes of building a new tomorrow. While each member of TXT naturally has their own strengths, all 5 were trained as vocalists, dancers, and rappers, leading Big Hit to make the natural decision to debut the group without fixed positions, with the exception of Subin as the leader. At a time when fixed roles were the norm in K-pop, TXT stood out as one of the first ever groups to break from this tradition, a pioneering move that helped popularize the new generation's trend of positionless groups. Described both internationally and domestically as K-pop's it boys, and celebrated as one of the industry's global leaders, TXT's musical storytelling, diverse discography, and incredible performances have cemented their place as one of the leading K-pop acts of today, a standing they've earned through a journey marked by challenges, perseverance, and growth.
One, three. 안녕하세요. Tomorrow by Together입니다.
TXT's debut in March 2019 was much anticipated, with them being the first group to debut under Big Hit Entertainment after the most successful act in K-pop history, BTS. Just to note before we continue, after a process of acquisition and rebranding in 2021, TXT now falls under Big Hit Music, a subsidiary of Hybe Corporations. This simply means TXT are now under the same company as groups like ENHYPEN, LE SSERAFIM, 17 and others, but they, along with BTS, soloist Ihyun, and the newly debuted boy group Cordis, are the only artists under the label of Big Hit Music. Since November 2018, when Big Hit announced their plans to debut a brand new boy group, anticipation and expectations for the debut of BTS's little brothers grew significantly. Cut to March 4th, 2019, the debut of Tomorrow by Together. TXT's anticipated debut song Crown reached an impressive 15.1 million views within its first 24 hours, setting the record for the most viewed 4th-gen boy group music video in the first day. TXT's debut EP The Dream Chapter Star performed equally well, peaking at #1 on both Korea's Circle Album Chart and Billboard's World Album Chart. The EP also debuted at 140 on the Billboard 200, making TXT the fastest K-pop group to chart on the Billboard 200. While these numbers might suggest that TXT's careers started at an ultimate high, that is not entirely the reality. TXT's first comeback had to be delayed several times due to the members' ongoing health issues. While this might not appear to be a big deal, the K-pop industry is fast-paced and highly competitive, so extended delays between releases can make it incredibly challenging to maintain momentum and relevance within the industry, especially for a rookie group like TXT. During this break period, it was clear that the members were worried that their fans would leave them, and while some fans did stay, unfortunately the members' worries became a reality, as many fans who were tired of waiting for a comeback withdrew their support.
이번 앨범 이름이 꿈의 장 매직이잖아요. 이름이 굉장히 잘 정해진 것 같다고 생각을 했어요. 컴백이 딱 2번 정도 밀렸을 때 굉장히 큰일 났다고 생각을 했거든요. 사실 속으로 굉장히 많이 불안하기도 했고, 나중에 또 안 오면 어떡하지 생각을 많이 했는데 마법같이도 다시 돌아와 주셔서 너무 감사합니다.
When TXT were finally able to make their first comeback, they expressed their excitement about reconnecting with fans in person. However, just a few months later, those long-awaited moments of connection were abruptly halted by the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, which ushered in another period of isolation and revived the same uncertainties and worries that had only just begun to fade after their debut period hiatus. This extended separation further disrupted key milestones, such as touring, that are crucial for building artistic identity, confidence, and purpose in the early stages of an idol's career. As a result, much of TXT's rookie era, a time typically filled with connection and growth, was instead defined by distance and a lingering sense of missed potential and unfulfillment.
무대하려고 좀 응원받고 사랑받으려고 가수를 하는 건데 그거를 내가 못 받고 있으니까 좀 괴리감이 들더라고요. 저는 지금 있는 팬분들이 저를 안 떠나게 잘 붙잡고 있고 싶어요.
So while TXT's career may have started at an ultimate high, it was soon clouded by a sequence of uncertainty and doubt. Thankfully, these clouds have now parted, and TXT continues to reach new highs. However, the one thing that has perhaps impacted TXT's journey the most continues to this day. And that is the pressure and hate they got, and continue to get, for debuting as BTS's little brother group.
그게 진짜로 너무 불안하기도 하고 너무 부담이었어요. 사실 저희 정말 방탄소년단 선배님과 저희 빅히트 엔터테인먼트가 큰 날개를 달아준 게 사실이니까 그에 대해서 뭔가 아직 명백하게 증명한 게 없다 보니까 불안했는데
저희를 데뷔 때부터 사실 사람들이 가질 수 있는 편견이 많을 수 있는 그룹이라고 저도 소문했고 그리고
방탄 다음 나온 팀이니까.
네, 저희도 인정하는 부분이고 근데 형들과 회사가 달아준 날개를 견디기 위해서는
As the biggest K-pop act in history, the narrative of BTS's extraordinary rise from humble beginnings to international stardom has unavoidably cast a long shadow over any future groups associated with their agency. However, none have faced as much scrutiny and pressure as TXT, who were not only the first group to emerge from this legacy, but also for the first 6.5 years of their career, the only other group directly under Big Hit Music. What many people don't know is that upon being accepted into Big Hit, the TXT members were completely unaware of the advantageous position and subsequent pressure they would experience debuting under the heavy title of BTS's Little Brothers. Yeonjun, who was the first member of TXT to join Big Hit, joined the company in 2014, the year after BTS's debut, at a time when the company was still facing bankruptcy. While Bomgyu, the last member to join Big Hit, joined the company in 2016 before BTS even won their first grand prize. Ultimately, all 5 members of TXT took a chance on a relatively small company, completely unaware of the future success of their seniors and how this might consequently influence their own idol journeys. For the first few years following their debut, the members rarely spoke about the details of their trainee period. But now, having carved out their own place in the industry, the members have become more comfortable talking about their time at Big Hit before it grew into the large-scale company it is today.
사람들이 이제 투모로우바이투게더 하면 방탄소년단, BTS의 동생. 항상 사람들이 비교를 우리랑 하니까. 그러면서 이제 많은 사람들이 쟤네들은 좋은 환경에서 이렇게 좋은 이렇게 시스템에서 일을 시작했겠네라고 하지만 나는 옆에서 봤던 사람 입장에서는 그렇지 않았고. 그래서 8-8을 아는 이 하이브의 아티스트들은 너네랑 우리밖에 없겠죠.
맞아요.
이 빅히트의 성장의 서사 너희들이 다 알고 있겠지. 연습생 생활을 그때부터 했으니까. 야, 물에 사이다를 타먹던 시절이 있었다고?
네. 그러니까
물에다가 잠깐만 사이다를 왜 타먹는 거야?
아니 제가 그때는 좀 사비로 계산을 했어요.
회사 법카나 뭐 이런 게 아니라?
사이다를 하나 시켜. 그래서 돈을 아끼려고 물을 좀 타먹으면 맛이 똑같아.
돈 아끼려고? 그때는 그게 없어? 장부가 없었나?
좀 지나고 나서야 있었는데
하루에 시켜 먹을 수 있는 음식 최대값이 6,000원이었나?
맞아. 그때 그래서 좀 제한이 많았어.
그래서 내가 들은 것 중에 제일 싸.
이럴 땐 안 그랬는데 눈 떠보니 대기업 같아.
들어올 땐 보컬룸에 버섯이 여기 있었는데.
그거 마음 아파요. 처음에 그거 스펀지 조각인 줄 알았다고. 그 청소하는 건 줄 알았어.
태연이가 말을 해버렸지만은 그땐 좀 맞았어요. 저희가 맞으면서 배웠는데 맞아요. 요즘에는 체벌 안 되죠. 뭐 그때야 체벌했지 지금 체벌하면 큰일 나죠.
멤버들 진짜 코찔 찌를 때부터 다 봤잖아요. 아기 때부터. 정말 물새는 연습실에서 다 같이 이 추운 겨울날 온풍기 하나 의지하면서 자고, 근데 얘네가 이제 다 커서 이 많은 사람들 앞에서 공연을 하고 멤버들한테 너무 자랑스럽고 고맙다고 얘기해주고 싶고요. 그리고 너무 고생 많았다 얘들아.
Because of the pressure and the intense trainee period spent together, the members have formed a close brotherhood, which is evident in their interactions and sibling-like dynamic.
평소에는 싫다 하다가도 누구 하나 아프면은 연락 5명에서 다 각광점에서 다 오고, 다 힘들 때는 진짜 누구보다 제일 잘 챙겨주고 가족이 되는 그런 존재들이거든요.
멤버들을 수식할 만한 표현은 없는 것 같아요. 친구라고 하기에는 그 이상의 것이 있고, 직장 동료라고 하기에도 뭐 더 이상의 것이 있고, 가족이라고 하기에는 피가 안 섞였고 소중하죠. 못 바꾸죠. 눈에 넣어도 안 아프죠.
다음 생에도 투바투 할 거지? 우리 멤버들 5명이 그대로 모이면은 저는 투바투 할래요.
Despite their amazing talent and hard work, TXT continues to face ongoing prejudice from the fiercely competitive and often toxic world of K-pop fandoms, with many still using TXT's debut privilege as a way to discredit their success. And while there is no denying that TXT debuted at a privileged position, reducing the entirety of their success to privilege alone unfairly downplays their hard work, journey, and talent. This perspective also fails to recognize the immense expectations and pressure uniquely placed upon TXT, which has significantly skewed how their progress and talent are measured compared to their peers. Despite these challenges, TXT have consistently risen above them, transforming criticism into motivation and proving that their success is built on a foundation far deeper than privilege alone. In an era where many K-pop groups struggle to find concurrent popularity in both international and domestic markets, TXT has distinguished themselves as one of the few K-pop acts managing to achieve significant and balanced success in both. As TXT continue to top charts, set trends, and break records, their achievements both at home and abroad underscore their status as a powerhouse in the industry and solidify their place among K-pop's most successful acts. The members credit all these achievements to their biggest driving force, their fan base MOA, which stands for Moments of Alwaysness. MOA also means to gather in Korean, as the members in MOA are gathering together to complete one dream. When turned on its side, MOA also becomes the number 304, which represents March 4th, TXT's debut date. TXT are constantly expressing their sincere love and appreciation for MOA, as the members say they are the only ones who truly understand and acknowledge their journey and hard work.
사실 모아 분들 아니면은 아무것도 아니라고 생각을 해요. 이런 위치 진짜 우리 팬분들께서 만들어주신 거라고 생각을 해요.
저한텐 멤버들도 있고 음악도 있고 여러 가지가 있지만 대신에 그건 확실해요. 결국에 저희를 완성시키는 거는 팬분들이다. 이 퍼즐 조각이 딱 완벽하게 들어맞는 거는 결국 팬분들이 없으면 있을 수 없다라고 생각하기 때문에 투모로우바이투게더의 이름을 가치 있게 만들어주는 거는 무조건 모아들이기 때문에
When we're high, when we're low, 넌 내 곁에 어머 you 가득 차 너의 온게 따스한 너의 숨결에 서늘했던 내 세계 마침내 피어난 봄 나의 blue spring 아무도 몰라 그 겨울 숱한 불안들과 떨리던 heartbeat Feeling 모든 부시리게 바란 날들 다시 날 안아준 널 기억해 It's just like magic 너뿐이야 내 불도 crown으로 바꾼 너 Now all my days and nights 봄바람이 번져 when you call my name.
Ultimately, through TXT's hard work, talent, and ability to live up to expectations, they have proved themselves and created a distinguishable and unique image that separates them from their senior label associates. What can be said for sure is TXT are certainly a force to be reckoned with in this ever-growing and evolving K-pop scene, as they strive to create a better tomorrow together. TXT is constantly praised for their standout discography. Standout not only in terms of the quality of their title tracks and B-sides, but also stand out in their dedication to unique and meaningful concepts and sounds that artistically set them apart from other K-pop groups. To use the words of prominent Korean music critic Kim Youngdae, in a business rife with all kinds of exaggerated concepts and universes, TXT doesn't follow the traditional K-pop formula, yet they have managed to become the most anticipated group of the next generation. TXT's training focused predominantly on hip-hop. In fact, for the majority of their trainee period, the members were under the impression they'd be debuting with a hip-hop concept. However, since their debut, rather than confining themselves to a fixed aesthetic or sound, TXT have embraced change and versatility as a core part of their artistry, resulting in a discography that spans a wide range of genres and styles. In an industry where many artists build their identity around a fixed aesthetic or sonic brand, TXT's diversity might initially be mistaken for a lack of artistic direction or conceptual focus. However, their discography stands out as one of the most cohesive and thoughtfully crafted in the industry, with each release tied together through an ongoing narrative of youth. Rather than relying on a single sound or visual style, TXT have shaped their artistic identity around an album-based narrative, structuring their discography into a series of interconnected albums known as chapters that capture the evolving emotions and experiences of growing up. Like chapters in a novel, each comeback builds upon the last, weaving together a rich, layered narrative that transforms their work from a series of isolated releases into an ongoing coming-of-age story. Regardless of genre or aesthetic, this consistent emotional thread runs through TXT's music, creating what many recognize as a distinct TXT-ness. Where other artists captivate through sheer spectacle, TXT, as the storytelling idols, connect through quiet sincerity. They tell stories that feel unflinchingly real, never shying away from the raw and unpolished realities of growing up. That honesty resonates with listeners, offering comfort to those living it now and nostalgia to those looking back. It's this sincerity that gives their discography a timeless quality, one that lingers long after the comeback hype fades. Since their debut, TXT's discography has been shaped by Big Hit's clear and controlled vision for its central narrative. While this ensures cohesion, it has naturally limited the members' creative freedoms, as their contributions must fit within this overarching story. As a result, they often find themselves competing with seasoned writers and producers from around the world, with every idea measured against the bigger picture of their ongoing storyline. Following different comebacks, the members have often told stories of how songs they have written have been temporarily dismissed by the company because they did not fit within the musical narrative of that chapter. While many might be disheartened by this, TXT are encouraged by Big Hit to keep these songs to one side for either their solo mixtapes or until they fit within the narrative of their group albums. Despite Big Hit's strict vision for TXT's discography, there are still several TXT songs that are written by the members, which ensures that the coming-of-age story they are telling is reflective of their authentic voices and experiences. Only 7 months after debut, the youngest member, Kai, set the record for being the youngest idol to be registered under the Korean Music Copyright Association after he helped write the song Roller Coaster for their first studio album. 6 months later, TXT became the youngest idol group to have all members as registered songwriters. While TXT's latest group album brought their original narrative of youth to a close, the stories and lessons that defined it are now being carried forward beyond music through their partnership with UNICEF on Together for Tomorrow, a global campaign supporting children and youth facing mental health challenges. For 6 years, TXT have embodied their role as the narrators of youth, giving voice to the worries, hopes, and quiet struggles of growing up through their music. Now, with UNICEF, they are expanding that mission by helping create spaces where young people can express themselves, build supportive relationships, and find strength in empathy, kindness, and inclusion. TXT's story has always been about more than music, and this campaign shows how their sincerity, once captured in song, can ripple outward into the real world, living up to their name and helping us build a brighter tomorrow together. For a more in-depth understanding of TXT's discography, visit our site, One Dreamography, where you'll find a chronological guide to TXT's releases, along with chapter and album summaries, detailed song analyses, contextual insights, and accurate lyric videos and translations. This is linked in the description below. Along with the lyrical storyline that runs through their albums, TXT has an additional storyline known as the Star Seekers, which is a fictional universe that runs through many of their music videos. While the themes of their music center around the real-life experiences of growing up, the Star Seekers adds a layer of magic and fantasy, creating a more fantastical parallel to the grounded themes of their discography-based storyline. Along with music videos, the Star Seekers also includes a short animation film and webtoon.
둘, 셋! 안녕하세요, 토모로우바이 투게더입니다.
Hi, my name's Junita. I'm Zubin.
Hi, my name is Joseph. Hi, I'm Mom-Yu.
To get to know the members' individual journeys and personalities, make sure to check out the 5 other parts of this guide series, which can be found on our channel. Additionally, TXT has a lot of non-music content you can check out, which will give you a more in-depth understanding of their personalities and group dynamic. To Do TXT is TXT's official variety show, where the members take on a variety of missions, games, and challenges. When To Do first started, the members were still camera-shy rookies, but over the course of the show, they have developed into 5 variety show kings, showcasing their chaotic, entertaining dynamic, and unique personalities. Talk by Today is a vlog-style reality show where the members document the behind-the-scenes moments from their daily lives, starting from pre-debut up until the present. While To Do offers a look at the members' dynamic and personalities in fun, unique environments. Talk by Today provides a deeper insight into their everyday lives. If this type of content appeals to you, you'll also enjoy their TXT logs, which, like Talk by Today, offer a more personal and candid glimpse into their daily lives. TXT Flicks is a comprehensive fan-made resource for TXT content, including performances, shows, interviews, and more. Here you'll find TXT's media appearances and original content categorized and summarized accordingly, making it easy for you to find content that appeals to you. This is linked in the description below.
이상 투모로우 바이 투게더